Can I have it all? On this episode of Leslie and Castelnaudary, join Franck and I for a wine hike in Narbonne. Then we'll scoot up to Toulouse and get my Mother's Day present, and then we'll zoom on home for an interior design project that will have you seeing your plants in a whole new way. Franck and I went on an adults-only date where we experienced the Sentier Gourmand on Clape, Vineyard, which is an annual gastronomic walk held in the scenic Clape Massif near Narbonne, Occitanie. Celebrating its 20th anniversary on Saturday, the 17th of May in 2025, this event offers a unique blend of nature, wine, and cuisine. It was an approximately 6-kilometer hike that lasts about 2 hours, but some of our friends went all into the night. You can experience a picturesque trail through vineyards and a garrigue, punctuated by 6 gourmet stops. Each of those stops, about 15 minutes apiece, features dishes crafted by Chef Marc Choual of Le Petit Lac in Narbonne, paired with wines from approximately 30 local vintners. You definitely have to wear your comfortable shoes and get a hat because it is a hot day in the south of France. But taking all that in is a part of the experience. Looking at the plants, the flowers, and the sweet breezes blowing from the Mediterranean Sea right within view is an experience like no other. You could go alone, as a couple, or with a large group of friends because hundreds of people were making their way from around the world to hike on this gourmet trail. As you can see, there were hundreds of people from all over the world tasting delicious gourmet meals and tasting the best wine France has to offer. We met many people from around the world who have come time and time again to taste these delights, to share in conviviality, and to really soak in the French sun. The food was like no other. We had marinated eggplant, we had braised farm pork cheek with country bacon, strawberry salad with basil and lemon vanilla cream. It was all so sumptuous. And the view was even better. Here's my favorite wine, Domaine Ferry Arnon. Oh, I loved it. Franck and I carried our wine glasses around our neck as we hiked, and we got to see the Mediterranean Sea as we walked with hundreds of other gourmands to each stop. The food was so filling. It tasted as if somebody made a meal just for you, but no, it was enough for everyone. The greatest pleasure was looking at the Mediterranean Sea as we basked in the sun and the wind as it blew through the sumptuous vineyards. It is true that nature truly does know what she's doing, and to taste her fruits amongst all of nature was a gift that Franck and I could share. At the end of our hike was desserts and coffee and music as we all rested in the shade. Having a moment with my husband was a memory that I'll cherish forever. We are going to get my Mother's Day gift.
Lucky girl.
Franck and I zoomed to Toulouse for the day to pick up my Mother's Day gift. We ate lunch in a classy, sexy part of Toulouse near the capital where beautiful shops and boutiques abound. I even got a bunch of new plants from a gorgeous plant shop. I just loved every minute in this shop. I even got a Monstera to take home. My gift was a scooter, a Peugeot scooter. I traded my California convertible lifestyle for the Dolce Vita scooter experience. I used to have one when we lived in Annecy, and now it was time to get back on 2 wheels and go home. We had a problem though. The scooter did not fit in the van. So we only had one solution, and that was for me to drive and Franck to ride the scooter home behind me on the country roads. It was so much fun. And here I am, zooming off into my future. For this project, I am going to convert my old vintage bird cage into an indoor plant waterfall experience. I used to have about 40 birds of different kinds, and I used this one for my splendid parakeet, but since I don't have any more birds, I decided I was going to repurpose this vintage bird cage into something gorgeous. First thing was to clean it off, and then the second part was to paint it with oil-based paint that also contained rust-proof material. Definitely have to wear a mask because it is very, very noxious, but I use this paint instead of spray paint because it would prevent water from rusting this very old and fragile bird cage. Then I got some exotic plants and then I put it in and also styled it with a very cool water fountain that I got from a local design store and really just started to place it all inside. The reason why I created this was because there was a dead pocket of energy at the bottom of this spiral staircase. So I really wanted to put something that was alive and living with the light, the water fountain, and the plants to just move that energy down and up and really create something beautiful as we are going from the main floor down to the garden floor. I really think we did a good job. It's also a really great way to have indoor plants without too much maintenance. So thanks for joining me on this episode of Leslie and Castelnaudary. Stay tuned for more adventures. I'm Leslie Juvin-Acker. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for joining us.